So let's just assume everyone's met up at the Winterblood Estate, I'm saying.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right.
New meetup spot.
All right. So before I cut off, I believe I was describing the scroll.
Yes. That is when you turned into a robot.
Right. So, as you begin reading off the scroll, you very quickly discover that the scroll is not actually Find Steed. It's a different spell. Whoever identified this thing must have missed the fine print.
Olivia.
It's a very similar spell, however. Rather than Find Steed, the spell is actually a scroll of Conjure Celestial. And as you complete it, in the center of the room, an ethereal presence begins to take shape, and there's a sphere of light that expands, and then it quickly dissipates once it reaches an apex of brightness. And standing there, somewhat translucent, somewhat solid, is a rather roughed-up looking reindeer. He appears to have been through the ringer. There are stars all over him.
And he's a reindeer.
Yes.
Okay.
He's rough, he's tough, and he
don't take no guff.
Looks around somewhat surprised.
Hello.
Bye.
Hello. Hi there, he says with a charming grin.
You need to take a seat?
I don't really feel much right now, so I don't think so. Where are my manners? Sorry. My name is Otherin. Otherin Greysky. Good to meet you.
Otherin Greysky. I'm Corvine, Winterblood.
Good to meet you. He extends a semi-solid hoof.
She extends one back. Ed, did you ever meet a Winterblood?
He furrows his brows for a second, and your hoof sort of passes into his. It's like putting a hoof into a really resistant material. So it doesn't stop, it's just sort of like... It's almost like putting your hand in an extraordinarily viscous liquid.
Like pudding?
Pretty much.
Or gelatin.
Pudding!
Which is appropriate for his hoof to feel like gelatin.
Hey. He pauses for a second, thinks, he's like, And he shakes his head. I'm sorry, madam. I don't actually remember a whole lot.
Oh, well, that's okay.
I remember I was part of, he clunks his head. Pardon me, I don't know how long it's been.
Since you...
Yes. I helped establish a settlement? Town. Village? Hovel? We called it Rain, I remember. It was in a lovely spot, right along the side of a river. I think it was a river.
She nods. You're currently in Rain.
Oh, am I? He looks around.
It's grown.
It has lasted wonderfully.
It's more building than I expected.
Yes, there's a lot that's happened.
He sort of shimmers for a second. What? Huh. Anyways, let's see, I remember. Oh, yes, I remember. That's right. I was the one that brought the different tribes together. Well, I mean, by that, he makes a huge grin on his face. A bit of a charming one, too. Well, what I mean that is, I had to convince everyone that was a good idea. It wasn't actually my idea to bring the tribes together, but, No, yeah, the tribe heads.
What idea was it?
He shrugs. I don't recall.
Does the term Perryton mean anything to you?
Perryton. Feels at the back of my head, on the tip of my tongue. It sounds familiar.
Does
but I
Ba
can't.
mean anything to you?
Bah. Yes, I think another founder. I think it was
Yes, and
sheep. I think it was.
the sheep had a
That doesn't
Oh,
master.
I think I remember that poor sheep. The master shakes his head. No, but considering that I suddenly feel a great deal of sadness, that might make sense. I remember. Let's see. I remember we came together, and then there was this. I remember there was a battle of some kind.
A battle.
Yeah. But we'd come together at this lovely spot, and then we were attacked. And I remember he looks up, and if he had fingers, he would snap them. Looks up. I remember there were deceivers. There are those amongst us who looked like us, but in the battle they betrayed us, and many of us fell because of it. Yeah, everyone is there. Everyone is here, except, well, Luigi. That's beside the point.
Sure he is. He's in that giant thing in the center.
No, he's the two chairs over
Alright,
there
everyone.
represented.
He's all the master hands.
Waluigi.
So, I remember the traders, I think. I remember blood red eyes, and I remember teeth, and I don't remember much else.
She notes.
And I remember we went somewhere? Some of us went somewhere. Something. Remember there's a battle that took place, and there's another one after it, and it was, I remember feeling that this was, I do think this was an important battle. Like, it was a battle to settle things, I think.
Was it... Did it have to do with the prophet? Do you know what that is?
Well, everyone knows who the prophet is. I don't know. I remember after this... I remember after the second battle, there's this great figure of light that appeared to us. And it... I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember a whole lot.
Sai turns to Dandy as mentions a figure of light. Is this related?
Don't ask me.
So...
Unless I do know. I don't think I would. I don't think I know about light history.
You mentioned these deceivers with red eyes and teeth. What was your relationship with them?
He kind of gets a... oh gosh, hold on, let me think, kind of look on his face. I don't remember exactly. The only thing I can tell you, young lady, is that whenever I think of them, I just feel a deep sense of sadness, betrayal, I think some hatred. But mostly I just think sadness.
Hmm.
I remember they gave no quarter. Maybe it's us. Maybe it's just the battle in general. You seem to have a vested interest in these things, young lady.
Yes. I do.
Well, I might offer a word of advice. I don't remember much about them, but if you should ever come across these deceivers, don't believe them. I don't know. Maybe we trusted them, maybe we didn't. All I know is that, he shrugs. I just remember seeing them and being betrayed.
We know who those are. At least we believe we do.
He thinks for a second. You mentioned a word earlier.
Perryton. I believe it is the proper name for those deceivers.
Do you believe a visual will help?
I don't think the Perryton is the deceiver.
Hold on. I think that's right, actually.
What?
I think I remember. His eyes get kind of wide. Yes, it's coming back to me now. That's right. I don't remember exact who it was or what happened, but I remember we stood together, getting ready to face the oncoming threat. And suddenly, I don't know how many, but a number of us suddenly, there were fangs and there were talons and there was blood everywhere and there was carnage. And by the time we were done, there were a lot less of us than there should have been.
Bygone, can you conjure an image of them for confirmation?
I was just thinking to offer this. He calls up a minor illusion of his best approximation of a Perryton that is not Corvine.
Go ahead and roll an Arcana. I mean, you'll succeed. I'm just curious as to how well you'll succeed.
Well, time to cast Fox is coming. Okay, instead I'll just give him inspiration. Play the song.
All right.
I believe.
Believe.
I do not.
Believe. Hooray.
Well, you create a very generic. You create a very generic-looking Perryton, and some of the details are a bit too generic.
That's fine. Well, I was going for generic, so.
Corvine gives a sigh of relief that she didn't realize she was older.
He looks at it, and his eyes grow wide, and he actually sort of like lunges back just a little bit. He's like, "Oh, yes, those are the ones." I remember. Ba. Ba was connected to them, but I think Ba told us how to beat them. For some reason,
Don't
Ba...
you just hit them?
What?
Don't you just hit them?
I remember they could. There was something they could do. There was something. I don't remember. I remember there's. We didn't know a lot about them, but Ba taught us, and we were able to know their tricks. I just don't remember.
Do you mind if I start filling in details until you start remembering again?
Oh, with all due respect, madam, I think I might have hit the limits of what I can recall, but feel free.
Well, Ba knew their tricks likely because Ba was serving one of them.
Yes, that sounds right.
And their trick that you can't remember is probably their ability to take shadows.
He frowns as he thinks, and he sort of shakes his head. You're probably right, madam. I don't recall that detail.
Their ability to blend in?
Well, that's all. Well, yes, certainly. After all, we didn't know they were amongst us until it was too late.
Oh. Hmm.
He sounds like he has a sad look on his face. Oh. I guess we didn't... Sorry, just thinking about it. If Ba knew about them, then I assume Ba probably told us about them, and, well, if we were betrayed, then we probably didn't believe him.
Oh.
But I don't really remember that being the case, or not the case for that matter. I'm just essentially jumping to conclusions.
Well, it's probably fine.
He shimmers yet again, and he mutters again, "Ah! Huh.
Huh?
I suddenly feel my connect. I feel like I don't know. I mean, I think the best way to describe this. It feels like he looks at himself. I mean, I know I'm not quite myself fully, but it suddenly feels like whatever's keeping me together is starting to come undone. Oh, I wish I knew more about this magic stuff.
The spell is
But-
ending.
Are you dying?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm already dead.
Otherwise, there's not much time.
Right. What? Anything else you can tell us at all?
He frowns a bit.
The Gray Skies. How do we get in their estate without being seen?
He looks at him curiously. Estate? What's an estate?
Did you have any backways into your house?
By now, the estate is very different than what it was
We
when he was
had
alive.
we had a series of huts. Mostly we had a front entrance. Sometimes we had holes in the ceiling for smoke, depending.
So you didn't have any back entrances or tunnels?
I mean, there was. He shakes his head. No, like I said, we lived mostly in tents.
That's understandable. Just
I do.
wondering.
I do know one thing though, and well, I can't tell you. I can't tell you why I know this, but I suspect it probably has something to do with the flicker. It has something to do with whatever brought me here. He looks down at the scroll, which oh, I forgot to say scrolls are
What about magic
consumed.
passages?
Yes, scrolls are consumed.
Okay.
Normal scrolls.
Which scroll was not consumed during the process of casting?
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Okay.
Looks down at it. I know that this can be used, I think, one more time. I can't tell you why I know that.
So Amber pipes up. What about magic passages?
Magic passages?
I believe she's asking about getting into your house through magical means.
Like a fixed teleportation spell or something?
He looks at her somewhat quizzically. I apologize, but I don't know what teleportation is. I suspect that much of what existed in my, well, when I was alive is very different than now.
It's going from point A to point B without moving between them.
Well, that's incredibly shimmer gone.
That's incredibly what? Incredibly what? Casts a spell immediately.
Amber curses under her breath.
Oh.
Well, no, she said a swear.
As a side note,
Not in any bad words, though. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Trust me.
Nope, demonetized.
just a moment.
What have you done?
God's work.
Oh,
Never mind. Apparently, I thought I heard knocking at my door, but it was not.
Okay. So that's it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
guessing I'm guessing we aren't getting to any dungeon crawling today.
Nope.
as stated, it is a scroll of Conjure Celestial.
Yes.
So you get to use it one more time.
And you thought we were going to dungeon crawl.
We're slow. Don't worry about it.
All right. So
Important
the
things
spell ends, and then what? And then what?
And then we do a dungeon crawl.
Thank you, Mike.
No, we're not doing dungeon crawl yet. We still have to wait on a couple items.
Well, I don't think Baiguang is expecting his item to be.
But yeah, thank you, Baiguan.
He nods.
I feel like that would have went very differently had I had to show him.
I mean, Dandy's the one who suggested it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am the best.
No false modesty here.
She gives a smirk.
Oh, I just now realized we do have a way into the manor, although it's not quite stealthy.
Front door.
Cast.
Yeah,
Thunder
front
Staff.
door. I still have the battering ram.
Yeah.
The
Right, we do have a
battering ram.
battering.
You
I
have the
still have
battering
the
ram. You have
battering
Dandy.
Throw
Yeah,
Dandy at the
it's
front
Dandy's
door.
battering ram. I still have it.
No, Dandy is our battering ram.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you claimed
Dandy,
the battering ram.
battering
that,
ram's battering ram.
No, you claimed the battering ram that no
Yes.
one had on
The
on
battering
page.
ram's battering ram.
Yeah, so you just use the battering ram, then ram into the battering ram, and you get advantage on it.
It's like
Yo,
when
dog.
Robin Hood shoots his own arrow.
Yo, dog, I heard you like batting rams.
Anyway.
So my ram-
Whoa, battering ram? No, I do not approve.
So, we skip ahead a couple of days? Yes, I know you wanted to talk to the owl, but we're going to gloss over that for now for the sake of time.
To my fellow companions, was there anything we wanted to ask of the divination spell?
Yes.
So we had a lot of ideas tossed out, and I wasn't sure how many were serious.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
serious.
a general
Maybe one.
consensus here.
Also, the owl has left the party.
Dun, 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 dun,
What did you
dun,
set it free?
dun.
Yeah, actually, that was my plan.
Oh.
Stars, please, no.
I see. So, like I said, is there anything you guys want to take care of before we skip ahead a couple of days?
Divination stuff.
Divination.
This is the,
And setting the owl free, but you don't want okay.
This is the better augury.
It's not that I don't want to do it, it's just we've got like 25 minutes.
If we are going to do it, we would just need to decide.
Okay, gotcha.
What's-
All right. Yeah, so yeah, you get to ask the same question. What question you gonna ask?
That's what we were trying to figure out. It's like, do we want to use this to see what's the best way in?
So wait, this is a spell that you have access to on the Warlock spell list?
That's a ritual that I have in my tome.
Oh, it's a ritual, so you can just keep doing it every 10 minutes.
I could, but each time has a 25% cumulative chance for a false answer.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, depending on how lucky we feel. Also, I can cast this and augment later.
Chris,
Okay.
go ahead and figure out your question.
Let's see, I mean, if we have 2 days, I can ask it twice with 100% accuracy.
I see only 2 questions to ask, actually, though.
What 2 questions do you propose?
The events of the meeting and the location of what's her name?
Astrid,
Astrid. During our
where will she be
when
in
we
2 days?
where will she be when we enter?
Okay, is it anybody else have objections?
The events of the meeting are pretty much covering what I asked, so
Okay, so one casting of divination, OC will ask, where will Astrid Grom be when we enter House Greysky in the coming days?
All right. All right. The answer is not there.
what?
It doesn't really answer.
That's not the answer to the question. Because we asked where.
No, we asked where she is.
Yeah, I know.
That's where she's not.
I'm currently figuring out the best way to answer to continue the
okay.
answer.
Fair enough.
You know what? You asked that. Yeah, you asked that specifically. And not there, but under an old toll.
An old what?
Toll.
Toll, as in
A toll bridge.
Like, toll road, toll bridge, whatever have you.
If she's under it, it's probably a bridge.
Or underground.
That's
in,
true,
say,
but
a ritual site.
we have to find out where these toll roads and toll bridges actually are, though.
As a side note, the Great Bridge that goes up to where the Noble Home Confederation is used
It's actually a
to
toll.
have old toll collection booths.
Oh.
They've long since been abandoned, but the buildings are still there.
They still exist, so it's theoretical.
So that is the answer to your first question. Not there and under an old toll.
Okay. So then, a day later, or after our next long rest, we wanted to. What do we want to ask about?
The meeting.
The result of the council, correct?
But what actual question
Not-
are we asking?
I don't think it's the result. I think we should ask what events transpired during the meeting. Or something like that.
And clarify, perhaps, or clarify a little. Like, what are you looking for? Like, what sort of information are you after?
Well, there's quite a bit of information we have to. If we have to specify, I guess I will. But
Well, yeah, I need an actual question to answer. So,
yeah,
And
what
to help you-
events transpired during the meeting?
what events transpired
Do
during?
you want him to
Well
read us the
done.
minutes?
All right. Well, if that's a question you want to ask,
I don't know. Is it? Because Mike wants someone casting, so he has to ask it.
Do we? I haven't cast it yet, OC. But do we want to ask? Remind me, what was the meeting to accomplish? Was it like an inquiry into the events that are going on?
So,
I thought it was more like an arrest.
well, the council I'm referring to is so House Ball was attacked by the
Yeah.
Sisters Grom openly, and the council was called to convene
So,
as soon as possible after that.
so on
I
the
thought it
surface anyway,
also was they were asking about like bringing Gray Sky in there to arrest him on charges.
but
You
on
mentioned-
the
you mentioned-
surface, it's to address the stuff at Ba.
Yeah, you mentioned that the Vixen, and she said that she would bring that up and see what she can do about it.
Okay.
So the exact nature of what the council is about hasn't been publicly spoken, but it's kind of obvious that's in reaction to the attack of Sisters Grom, or at least officially.
Yes. It's officially about that, and they're pretty sure Oystein is part of it, so they're there to question him and arrest him if he tries to
Do
run.
we want to ask what's going to happen to Oystein at the meeting? Or...
Well, I mean, what happens to Oystein doesn't matter as much as what happens to everyone else.
That's why I was asking about the lives of others. Because that would give us a general idea of how dangerous it is.
Is anybody going to die or be grievously injured?
No, more like, how many lives are going to be lost? Not anybody, because then it could just be, oh, one man died of a heart attack in the hallway. It's fine.
He wasn't important anyways.
What if you phrase it as, how will people be hurt or killed in the meeting?
That'll do. How at the upcoming gathering of the council, how will individuals be injured or killed? Is the official.
A single word comes back to you.
Oystein. Oh. Well then.
War.
So war will happen at the council meeting.
Oh, but
Well then.
for every torch of pitchforks, people are going to war.
I guess that's my 2 questions.
All right, well,
Time to subtract that from my stock of incense and herbs.
2 days pass, and the council is officially called. Where do you guys go? What do you do?
Well, I don't know because I don't know if the sword happened or not.
I'm definitely going to warn Vixen about the reading from my divination.
She takes your advice to heart.
And we'll probably, since there are a couple of days, probably pass that on to any other noble houses that we're on.
So if we go the day beforehand to the bridge, do we find anyone sitting underneath it?
If you guys go the day beforehand, you find the bridge to be, well, so the Great Bridge, as it's called, is probably probably a good 150 pup lengths wide.
Wide.
Bridge.
Oh, that's a pretty big bridge.
And it's extraordinarily long. And the bridge itself is made up of an interesting combination of stone, wood, and ice, largely woven together in very deliberate ways. Parts of the bridge, the aesthetic and style differ. Like this over here is a slightly more blocky style. This one's more of a interwoven into each other. This one's more about combining them, so on and so forth. But the bridge itself is very large, and on certain points along it, there are semi-permanent buildings that people set up to try and sell things to individuals that are coming and going, and also to provide services to carry them across the bridge. Yeah, it's a long bridge. And in addition to that, there are some semi-permanent homes here and there, but the officials don't really like the idea of permanent homes being on the bridge because they're afraid it's going to, eventually overwhelm the bridge and plug it up. And at the end of the bridge that goes from the center, almost more or less the center of Rain out to the Noble Confederation, is a huge, almost like if you took a palace and put it on top of another palace. It's a very large complex that looks a little lopsided. As it's being built, it's being built constantly, and it has been for the past few years without really much of a plan. So it's just sort of growing up and out. It's actually easily the largest structure in all of Rain, and in some ways, almost a proper little city unto itself. If it wanted to, it could probably very well be its own municipality. That said, the bridge is. That said, as you head down the bridge, a little way towards the end, or a little way out of the city itself, you come across a pair of old toll houses situated on either side of the bridge. One of them appears to be in really bad repair, and the other one appears to be in slightly less bad repair.
Take the worst looking one.
I agree.
Alright. So upon heading into it, it's a story and a half structure, and part of it also goes down underneath the bridge itself. The bridge itself is held by a series of very large supports, sometimes in the center of the bridge, sometimes off to the side. It's not consistent.
Well, that's bad engineering.
What?
I said, oh, that's bad engineering. You don't want your support structures to be inconsistent.
Like I said, the bridge isn't exactly uniform in its construction from start to finish. That said, when you arrive there, there's a small set of stairs that's mostly broken, leading up to an upper half floor, as it were. And there doesn't seem to be a lot on the ground floor, per se. If anything, it looks like one of those old crumbly buildings you run into that might have graffiti on the inside.
Okay. I try to go to the lowest part that you said was under the bridge.
It appears that when you walk into the building, you just have a floor, and you step outside and look. It looks like part of the building sort of comes down and wraps around and underneath the bridge, almost as if the toll house was built to sort of clutch onto the bridge to keep it from falling off.
Okay.
Oh, right. Sorry. That said, Sae, something seems amiss when you step into the toll house.
Oh boy.
I have not forgotten about that, 25, 27 passive perception?
Something like that.
It's only 6, actually.
That was close enough.
Does
That's close enough.
Sae remark on this sensation?
She does start looking around, noticeably.
Does she percept?
She does do percept.
Percept or investigate.
Well, either one works with the same freaking modifier, so...
Fair enough. Although I suppose investigate is a smaller area, so you'd have to pick a spot. Whatever.
But more
Make up your mind!
Perception. Perception, please.
percept.
Okay.
Percept.
Yeah, there's something amiss. You can't exactly put your hoof on it, but something here is off. There's more to this place than meets the eye, but you can't...
Sai is one people. Did Sai tell anyone?
Well, she's about to.
Okay.
Something's not right.
Bastard.
Baiguang checks with divine sense.
What's the reach on that?
60 feet.
In every
It's blocked by total cover.
Okay. You don't get much.
Which we've kind of disregarded the part about total cover previously, but don't worry about that.
Fair point. All right. Yeah, you get something far below you. And a
Hooray.
little more towards the center of the bridge.
I indicate the direction that I am getting the bad juju feeling.
Okay. That's probably her.
Most likely.
Generator.
She's gonna head downstairs anyway, or wherever.
Well, there's no real downstairs to head
Okay.
down. Like I said, that the floor of this place is just solid, and what you saw on the outside is more of a curving support that's holding it in place and attaching it to the bridge.
But Corvine's gonna walk out and fly down there. I'm assuming there's no like guards or anything on this ridge.
It depends what time of day you're here. The bridge is fairly busy most of the time.
Hmm.
I can make you invisible again.
Tempting.
Not on blind side.
Clearly, Corvine's just gonna jump off the bridge and then fly.
Just going for a swim without hitting the water.
Jumping from the bridge is not usually a good idea,
Unless you can fly.
but this is not a modern age where they take great pains to keep people from doing such things. If anything, it might be a guardrail.
Okay.
Graceful leaped.
Then
That's
yes,
what we're gonna say.
that's what I want to do.
Are you actually jumping off the bridge?
I'm actually gonna jump off the bridge and then fly under it. Towards where Bagwan pointed.
All right, go ahead and make
Corvine,
me a
no.
stealth check, please.
You have so much to live for.
Like me.
Woohoo! Sevens! Repeatedly. Even
So
on the
what
advantage
today?
roll.
All right.
I would never give you advantage ever.
As Corvine goes to step off, perhaps it's a sense. Perhaps there's a sense of trepidation. Perhaps it's reflex. It's difficult to say. But as Corvine goes to jump off, she spreads her wings a bit too early, and there's several gasps from denizens on the bridge as she flies down underneath.
One bad stealth roll. Got it.
No.
That
But-
said,
Baiguan casts a silent image over Corvine to look like he blew her up. It's okay, folks. I took care of it. It's not going to bother any of us.
Saya looks back at Baiguang and said, "You kind of look like Blackbird."
give me a.
I was joking, but
Oh, okay then. Underneath, you see this support, as it were, go from underneath this toll bridge, run along the bottom of the bridge, and connect to a slightly larger than normal pillar that goes down and into the ground below.
Man, I still don't say anything.
Well, outside the underside of the bridge, which needs some dire maintenance.
So I don't see any big crocodile.
No.
I'm gonna percept.
All right.
Because I'm trying to follow Bagwan's sense.
Well, looking at it, it looks like this slightly larger than normal pillar that's in the center of the bridge.
I will also be surveying the water, by the way.
What?
I said I will also be surveying the water, by the way.
Okay. Then in that case, as you get down close, you see this pillar goes down into the water a bit of a distance, and then it goes into the bedrock down below. But the bedrock down there has a strange shape. It doesn't look as well. It looks slightly more blocky than it should.
Hmm. So it doesn't look organic.
Give me a let's say investigation. Unless you can think of a different skill you could use.
I could think of a different skill. Actually. Insight, maybe? maybe not.
I could see insight, or I guess even nature for that matter.
Okay.
All right. You can't tell if it's strange because they had to modify the bedrock when they put the sport down there, or if there's something else strange. It's hard to pin down if what you're looking at is natural or unnatural, but it doesn't look 100% natural.
Okay. Then I think I'm gonna throw some rations at it.
Are these meat rations?
Yeah.
All right, your rations hit the water and sink down, and come down and land on the floor on the bed of the river, but there doesn't seem to be any reaction from anything in particular.
Astrid? Are you there?
There's no reply except for the sound of water gently lapping about.
Okay. She's gonna. I'm assuming there's nothing. Oh wait, there's the circular thing, right? Could I land on it?
To describe again the underside of the bridge. So you have
Okay. Is there any place I could land? That's the important part.
not at the moment, no. Not unless you cling to the side of something.
Okay. Theoretically, I could. I guess I'm going to do that.
Make a climb check.
Sorry, if you'd like to make another perception check, feel free to do so.
Yay!
A spot check to go with your climb check.
Alright. Corbin, as you perch, up above, you finally see what was wrong. A false floor. And not just a part of it, the entire floor of this building is false.
Well,
I'm assuming you don't mean illusory.
That's correct. It's very much real, it's tangible, but the whole thing is apparently removable.
investigation to see if I can figure out what it's made of.
Wood. And a bit of ice. But mostly wood.
Is there any way to
Oh,
handle? Is there any sort of
With the investigation check, I'll say yes, you can figure out how to remove the floor.
rogue? Go do it.
this rogue open floor.
Alright, and as you do so, you see a slightly better maintained stairway than the shack itself, heading down and underneath the bridge, leading into what appears to be some sort of passageway that connects to the other side of the bridge.
Well, found something. But if this is what was off, Bygone, what did you find over there?
It's worth noting that this.
What specifically did I sense? Was it a creature or a desecrated area?
The exact nature of it is just beyond, but you could sense the edges of something, and it didn't feel good.
So it's not a celestial.
No, not particularly.
But I'm not able to discern between creature and location.
Now, whatever's causing it is a bit too far.
Okay.
Think of it like a
Celestials are good.
Think of it like a Venn diagram where your half the bubble is just barely touching the other part.
Okay.
So
But yeah, no, he re-indicates the direction. Just says something unpleasant is that way.
Which is
Is
the
it-
direction the stairs are headed. Well, stairs and little tunnel underneath the bridge. Corvine, you were
If-
saying something?
So
Was
how am I
Corvine
gonna
saying
get
something?
back?
That's a good question because my message will not reach you through this bridge.
Will it not? I thought it could go around obstacles.
Can it go through obstacles? I don't.
Message?
As long as you know where the
Yes.
is,
I don't
go
know
around.
exactly where Corvine is.
I'm gonna take the staircase because I'm brave.
Well, and I was gonna say, if it's accurate to say so, Baiguang would say it feels familiar, like the other ritual sites. But
Well, I'll throw you a bone and I'll say message will work in this situation.
If you know, if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, no, it is beyond the barrier, so yes. You are definitely aware that.
However, how thick is the stone or whatever?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's much
Right.
thicker than 3 pup lengths.
it does not have to
Uh,
follow a straight line.
But I
So-
will allow it.
So as long as
Uh,
Corvine
for
isn't in a
circumstance.
stone box.
Show message Corvine that they found the real entrance.
Oh, yes. OC, would he be able to accurately say that it feels familiar?
So
One more time?
Corvine's
Sorry, what did you say, Bagwong?
Oh, would it be accurate for Baiguang to comment that what he sensed felt familiar?
Yes.
Okay, he says so.
So Corvine's gonna try and fly into the building from the other side.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth check, please.
7.
You can do it. It's gonna be a 6. Hey,
You fly in without so much of an issue.
Okay, and then she's gonna walk back up to the group.
Don't give me a heart attack like that.
Sorry. I'll be more careful next time.
Are people looking at her funny, or are we in private?
You guys are now in the stairway, which has gone down and led into what appears to be a passage, a fairly narrow passage. It's a bit
What?
dark down here, but you
Corvine
see,
is stealth right now. They're not looking at her.
so
you
peop-
see. Go ahead.
Okay, oh, I was just gonna say people saw Corvine go off the bridge, but not
Yeah, I
return
know.
to us. So yeah,
Um,
carry on, OC.
And the passageway continues on until it hits what appears to be a staircase in the distance.
A staircase that led to a staircase.
Well, the staircase goes down,
Well,
and then there's a long passageway, then another set of stairs. I will provide an illustration once we are done here. That's it. Does the group proceed forward?
Yeah.
Let's see, how dark is it? Are we able to see without additional light?
There's no lighting in here, so it's pretty dark.
Okay, Baiguang casts light on himself.
You certainly can. Amber asks, "What can I ask? What all is around the room?" Where you guys are right now is so you were in this tiny little, basically abandoned shack. There wasn't anything in there. Maybe some graffiti. And on the bottom was a false floor that was removed. Once it was removed, there's a set of stairs that went down towards the underside of the bridge. Taking the set of stairs down led you to another passageway that is apparently underneath the bridge. And if one were to connect what Corvine saw to this, it's probably that support, quote unquote, that was attaching this building to the bridge.
She
And
could
this-
probably put those two together.
This pipe, we'll call it for lack of a better term, leads and connects to a large support pillar. And on the inside, looking down this passageway, or pipe as we'll call it, at the end of it, which is where that big support pillar would be, is a set of stairs. You get a set of spiral stairs that are going down. The actual passageway itself is bare of any particular features.
Have we so far gone far enough downward that we would be below the water, or probably not yet?
That's the root of the question. Have you guys proceeded forward?
Yes,
Yes.
Are we?
Dandy is.
Clearline will proceed behind them.
And so I will proceed.
And
All right.
Spyglass is proceeding.
Then we shall. As you guys head down the set of stairs, you eventually reach water, which would be at the same level that the river's at. But you see the stairs continue down all the same, and then come out into what appears to be a doorway down there. You have to go underwater for a short distance to get to it.
Spyglass has a swim speed now. Hooray. As he should have always had.
Of course, he's a snack.
And for the sake of expediency and simplicity, I won't require any swim checks or nothing like that, especially since swim checks don't exist. They're just
Acrobatics through it.
Is there anybody that doesn't go into the water? Is the pressing question.
I go into that water.
I'm ready to frost my way over the water.
And suddenly there's slaughterfish everywhere.
Hopefully, Amber has a
Unless we have to go deep into the water.
watertight satchel for all of her paper airplanes.
All right, as you guys
Okay,
head
Amber,
down,
I froze the water. We can walk across.
As you-
Oiled canvas.
as you head down, you reach the doorway, and passing through the doorway, it opens up into a larger hall, or a larger corridor that slopes upward. And as you proceed forward, you come out of the water, and give me a hot second.
You go into darkness.
There we go.
Go into more darkness.
The darkness. The shadow.
That did the thing,
You
right?
can't be in darkness. Spyglass has a light.
Yeah.
And you pop out right. And I made Amber a character sheet, so she should be able to.
So, here's an important question: Is
I don't see your character sheet.
is this map
Did
using
you share it?
squares or pup lengths?
Unfortunately, this one was squares before I. The declaration. Oh, it's not the right one. Can you
Oh, there
control
we
that?
go.
Can you
Yeah.
control that, Amber? Okay, cool.
It's a very bright glow. Or is that like one?
Also, that's not the spread I linked. I should have linked the one with the cape. Whatever, I'll fix it afterwards. And as you guys come out, you see. Oh yeah, we'll do that.
Kill him!
There we go. Okay. You see two reindeer who are standing there, and as you come out of the water, one of them yelps, "Ah, they're coming!" And turns around and slams on the door.
Or no, I sleep him.
Roll me some initiative real quick.
No one can beat me. No one can beat me.
All right, it's a
They-
it's a saving throw, is it not?
No, it's
Oh.
death.
I-
How much?
He rolls
How much
dice,
do I need to?
and if it's above their health bars, then they get knocked out.
That's right. I remember. It's dependent
Yeah,
on
yeah.
hit points.
It's essentially it either one shots them or they don't.
Can I? I don't think I can get him before he yelps though.
This is true, but
I-
I'm pretty sure they go to sleep all the same.
Yeah. Hang on. I can.
I
Over.
was rolling initiative just in case he failed, so I could try to sleep as well.
Okay. I.
This-
I just,
So
I just doing it 'cause it was
28
the
hit
cool thing to
points.
do.
Oh wait.
Oh, wait, no.
That.
Wait,
Yeah.
is it
Also, I
or is
didn't.
it both added
It's
together?
28 hit points. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, I didn't know that it didn't cast. It didn't improve at second level, so I cast it as a first one.
Gotcha. Well, this is the closest thing to sleep, I guess. So
Is it enough to affect both?
yes.
Okay.
It does indeed.
Could also like turn them on their side or something.
And we're gonna go ahead and call it session there.
We
then.
might not be here to Oh.
Well, they.
Yeah. No, because Corvine rolled lower initiative. That's what her idea was going to be.
Oh, okay.
The giant diplomacy.
Yeah, I don't.
Um,
It actually did do something. Never mind. I still didn't. I still cast it as a lower one. Anyway.
That's it. What did you say, Bagwong?
Oh, I was just commenting that Baiguang crit fail his initiative.
This is true.
It's like, what? Something's happening?
Yes. Perhaps being on the water is. It's been a little while, and maybe some flashbacks or something. Like, oh gosh, the slaughterfish, they're everywhere.
I forgot to turn my fire off, and it was really disorienting.
All right, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it session there.